Hi, my name is Stephanie. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then hi, nice to meet you. I live in Korea. I'm 31 and I used to teach ESL. Welcome. Feel free to comment and ask me questions. Nice to meet you all. Alright, so hi. I wanted to do an update for my I think I did it 2 years ago. It was more towards like the Dave Ramsey side with actual like cash stuffing and things like that. This will not be like that. So basically I'm actually not teaching anymore. I'm taking a break in order to full-time study data science, and I'm just gonna kind of like update on what I currently do and then give some tips about what it is that you can do if you are still ESL teaching slash have a monthly type salary, specifically if you are in Korea. So I have my notes here. Alright, so first things first, Alright, so first of all, there's the complete update. I no longer do cash stuffing or anything like that. Everything has kind of been digitized and is more along the lines of, I read Remy Sethi's book, I Will Teach You to Be Rich or something like that. I really enjoyed the podcast and the book, so I picked up a lot of like useful tips and stuff there. Now, specific things for being an ESL teacher in Korea. So first thing is, I would highly suggest you get very familiar with what your base salary is and then what your take-home salary is. So make sure your boss is giving you your pay stub so you know all the deductions. And then, very important side note is you need to make sure that you double check that you are getting whatever is being deducted is actually being paid. So you really don't want to wait 6 months in a year and then realize your boss is like deducting things, but you are gonna have like a big fat bill because they weren't actually paying into anything. So next thing is to understand what your housing situation is. So there are different contracts, different people will have different things. I think if you're just coming here, most people will have the school provided housing. If you do, note what exactly it is they expect you to pay for. So I've seen some people end up with things like they have to pay some kind of weird deposit to the school, or they're getting charged. Sorry, the dog's being weird. They're getting charged weird expenses. So I would highly suggest you go ahead and like clarify that before you move in and get that in writing. Everything is cleared up. The next thing is, if you've been here a while, or even if you haven't and you're just switching to monthly, I would highly suggest that what you do is look at your past like 2 to 3 months worth of spending and then figure out like what are your fixed costs versus what are your additional like fund money that is variable, and you kind of identify like what exactly are your problem areas and then like figure out like, oh, am I overspending in this area, am I not, and then figure out what is reasonable. I would highly suggest you read the book if you want like percentage breakdowns, or if you have like specific questions about that. I guess I can do another thing, but I'm trying to keep this short. So yeah, the next thing, all right, so if you're overspending in a category, go ahead and figure out some kind of rule for yourself to basically help you practice some kind of like self-restraint to make sure everything is copacetic and you're not spending everything. Savings accounts. So Korea has like different banks have like different rates, and they have different rules for when it comes to foreigners. Some banks won't let you open up certain accounts. Some will let you open account after you provide them some letter from your job and things like that. Um, if that's the case, then like pick what you want. Personally, I ended up with like Hana Bank because they had a a like foreign package thing. So you get like a savings account that you can use as a checking account, and then you got like a debit card and etc. etc. Um, so one thing to look into is there a certain savings account that have higher interest, and they are basically like you can input money a specific amount per month that's automatically deducted, or you can just put it in yourself and then it's set for a certain amount of time. So there's a penalty if you break it before a certain amount of time, but then you have like a set interest that you get if you leave it there. So it can be for like 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years. They're usually pretty short term. um and then for investing, for Korea, like if you're a foreigner, you have to go to a specific place and basically like apply for like permission in order to have an investment account. I don't think it's worth for some people depending on your situation. So I would instead suggest to probably set up some kind of like overseas account wherever your country is that will minimize like the fees that they want to charge you for like sending money from Korea, and then go ahead and invest in whatever your home country is. And I'm sure there's other more qualified people who can give you good solid things for those. Dogs being distracting. Um, if you have any questions about like money relating to pets living here, then that's like just leave a comment. But um, yeah, basically like they would go under like fixed costs because I know for a fact that I'm buying their food, prevention meds, etc. So finally, basically just life updates. So and this can be its own thing, and like if anybody has any questions or if they want like a completely separate thing about this, but I wanted to talk a little bit about like just like my decisions basically. So for a little bit before this, for like the last like year or something, um I knew I wanted to take a break. I wanted to be done with teaching, not because, well, to be fair, teaching was always supposed to be a transition period for me, but I was burnt out and I was falling into the trap of putting too much effort into my work. So I was taking courses that would make me better at like curriculum development and teaching. And again, it was supposed to be a transition period for me, so it didn't make sense that I was doing that because I didn't want it to be my career. And then another thing was I had realized that in 3 years I had reached the higher end of what a lot of people end up getting as a teacher being here. And that for me is a no-go because I don't want that. Like, I don't want to be like capped out on how much I've made after 3 years. Like 3 years is a really short time. And of course, like I could have done things to increase my value and try to like get into like higher positions. But again, like even like the manager roles, head teacher, things like that, like the pay wasn't what I would want. And of course, like people end up also doing like private tutoring, things like that, and, going that route. But again, it's not my passion. So basically what we've been doing, and this isn't like life advice because my situation would be different than others, but basically my husband and I were living together already. We had combined finances. We made the decision to basically we lived to where we could live off of the lower person's income monthly. So basically, like anything that would roll into my pay or anything like that, were just like extras. So, for example, furnishing and things like that. And then everything else we were kind of bottling away. Um, we had some larger expenses. So, for example, like my cat's or cat's treatment, and things like that. But our basic like monthly regular needs, we made sure that we could live off of one person's salary and then kind of funneled away other money. And then yeah, so my plan is to try to basically self-study slash get certification to move into a data role. And so that's what I'm doing. That's my life update. I also am basically content creating, putting more effort into my mental well-being and working on my ADHD. And I'm trying to make content and train my dogs, and we're gonna be showing and things like that. I think I want to make content about dog things. So I have this idea for a website relating to dog things, but it's a really ambitious project and it actually will take quite a bit of talent, skill, and money. So um, we'll see where that goes. But yeah, that's basically how that's going. And I guess my last thing is just I really want to encourage anyone who is watching to kind of branch out and take control of not just their finances, whatever your situation is, um, but just branch out in general in life and kind of like see what other opportunities there are. I think limiting your thinking into what you think you're capable of or what you think you like are stuck doing is disheartening, and it can lead people to kind of giving up on having dreams or like thinking they can do anything more. And I really want like 5 years ago I literally was like I didn't know what I was gonna do. Like I was a single mom in a relationship that was already failing. um I had barely gotten my degree because I was like under crippling depression, and I could barely leave my house. So that was difficult. And I didn't know what I was gonna do. So um I never thought that my life would be this different in 5 years. So um yeah, if you want to hear anything more about that, or if I can help anyone, I would really like to. And then um yeah, I also kind of want to make some content about anyone who wants to move to Korea and anyone who wants to like live here long term, because I think a lot of people come and they want to stay, but then they're not sure how to. And I think I'm facing that exact like thing where I'm trying to navigate how um I can fit in. Fit in is not the right word, but you know what I mean. Like it's one thing to live in a place and then be a like stay being an outsider and like kind of living in your own bubble. But I don't want to. I genuinely like living here, so I genuinely want to be a part of society and like contribute. You know what I mean? Um, I don't think my content falls into what a lot of people probably expect from foreigner living in Korea. Um, but I don't know if it helps someone or someone finds it interesting. That's great. And if you like dog content, then yeah, I'm gonna probably be filming my dog showing journey and training and things like that. I joined the kennel clubs here, so I'm hoping to open a dog business too. So yeah, yay! Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, if you want to know anything else, or if there's some kind of content that you'd be interested in, let me know and I'll try to make it. I'm gonna be trying to post videos every Wednesday, and then I'm hoping to do some kind of podcast. I'm not sure what kind of podcast though, because like there's so many things that's going on in my brain, and like there's just so many ideas, but I'm really bad at execution. And also I need someone to talk to me. So I think I'm gonna ask my husband to like just be there, talk to me, and yeah, I don't know, maybe be like Stephanie soon. I absolutely adore her. Anyways, bye.